What's up, something? Thank you, Daniel, for subscribing. It's much appreciated. Just a friend. Been pretty good. Getting some pretty good streams in. Almost finished with placing all the water. I mean, placing all the sand in the water. There we go. I had like two thought processes happening at once. Kind of weird. And I just merged them together. What's up, Kigaboo? I already did all of that. Can't even see the other side, but yeah, that was also deep ocean as well, which made it take extra amounts of time. Hopefully I finish today. I mean, there isn't that much to do, so... Thank you, Kibu. I'm just gonna mention, placing the sand is one thing, but sponging it out takes forever. Just to put in perspective, when I did my time lapse, I spent 25 hours placing sand. I spent 50 hours sponging it, so it took twice as long to sponge as it did to place all the sand. So I think it's gonna be very similar to this one. Which good thing about having this much water though is at least after you get rid of all the water, there's much less blocks to get rid of after to mine, which kind of sucks because it's like my block count is technically lower, but I mean that doesn't really matter because I account for all blocks. I don't account for just mining. You can if you want to, but it's kind of just up to you of how you interpret what I've done in this world, really. I'm not too sure if he fully gave up on it. I know he's like partial on it at all times, it feels like. Did he actually fully give up on it, or was it more like a... Because I know he's taken, I think it's been 9 months since he's had an episode of Operation Bedrock, so... Honestly, his partial mentality when it comes to this project, and for some reason making a full-time job as the reason he can't do this project, even though I've been having a full-time job for the past 8 months now, and it's actually not that bad to have a full-time job. And and I don't think he has as many. I mean, he probably doesn't have as many more responsibilities than I do. So Rando, wait, did he really? May have to look at that tweet. I'm doing alright, Randall. Just I've been placing sand for the last 2 days. Pretty much the last 2 days. He's always seemed like he's been partial on like I wouldn't say quitting the project, but he's always made like one or two like reasons for not doing the project. Which I don't blame him. This is a lot to do for one person. Not everybody's 100% built or has like the natural mentality to handle a project like this. Some people have to learn that mentality. Fortunately, I have it innate within myself, but some people actually have to learn it. It's hard to explain, but Game? Okay. I still don't think that's the controller. I swear to God, I don't think that's the controller doing that. Because there's no way both controllers that I have are going out. Because if you're wondering, okay, if there's a random movement that happens, do mind you, it's probably the game or the controller malfunctioning, which I don't think it might actually be the game. Maybe. I'd say yeah, it's pretty much about just drive. It's like holding on. You have to just hold on to the project. I mean, you still have to get stuff done, but you still have to hold on to the project. Hold on to progress, I guess is a better way of saying it. Because he held on to the project, he just didn't make any progress. I guess holding on to progress is probably the best way to explain it. Continuing progress, regardless of like what anybody says, really, what it comes down to. I mean, it's called willpower for a reason. It's your own choice at the end of the day. And if you don't make the choice to make the progress, you're not going to make any progress. So it's all about holding on to the project, holding on to the progress of making um, progress on the project, I guess. Which even though I spent like a whole, like I think 3 months is the most I've ever spent without doing the project, but I've taken several month breaks. Crazy as that sounds, I have taken several month breaks. As in like I'd take a month and then I'd work for several months, maybe even up to a year at some points, and then I'd take a month or even 2 months, depending on what I have to do. But then I always come back to it eventually. I think another problem with this is you have to be very open to new methods of doing things. That's probably a really big thing I've seen Sword King not really have the I think he was a bit too stubborn when it came to this project, which I can kind of attest to, but I was at least a bit more open to certain things. Like, I can give him a method right now to repair his pickaxes, and he probably won't accept it. I don't know if he'll get to that point with, like, Philza, because that was huge. Like, that was an insane moment, how it shook the community. I mean, it might, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not saying this project won't, but it's hard to tell, honestly. It just depends on how widespread this project actually gets and how much, because I know it always gets like an insane um, levels of attention. Like always, it's always mind blowing to people anybody who sees it. At least that people who understand this game well enough. But it definitely is possible to get to that level of Kilo and Filza's. Um, Kilo's going to the Farlands and Filza's. I could definitely see it turning out like Kilos. I don't know if he'll go as far as Filza. That'd be amazing, but I don't know. It can shake the community that hard though. I think it actually has that potential. What's up, Plasma Bolt? You're welcome. I just can't tell how much, like, honestly, from what I've seen with the blow-ups, from this channel blowing up, I could tell it does have a lot of potential, though. Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. Like I could see it being as big as Kilos, if not bigger, like a little bigger. I don't think it'll get as big as Phil's moment. I don't know about that one. I mean, it is possible. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it is actually possible due to the its uniqueness of into the community, its uniqueness of a project, and like the significance of it. I think it's big enough, but I mean, I got on a gaming news article, so I mean, I guess that's good. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just not too sure about it getting that far. Like, I want to be optimistic about it, but I also want to be kind of realistic about like how big this will get. But at the same time, I have seen the potential of this level of attention this project gets, and it's barely even hit um, scratch the surface as well. I mean, I already got a ton of publicity from the Reddit community. Apparently, I'm pretty well known in that community because there've been multiple posts. And those two posts, I think, okay, so there was one post that got like 5,000, and then there were two other posts that did absolutely nothing, which was funny because when somebody made a Reddit post about it, they just used a stream thumbnail, and they got no views. I told them to use my 38 million thumbnail. Like I was like, okay, here's a better way to advertise this if you want some advice. I told them use the 38 million thumbnail, and guess what? It got over 8,000 upvotes and it got an award. So, yeah, talk about thumbnails being very eye-catching. Let me tell you, they're more eye-catching than people even realize, even on a Reddit post. Oh yeah, the news articles from Google. That's pretty cool though. That I didn't think it would. I didn't think this was gonna go that far. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there was a meme channel called Memeanade. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. That stopped by this channel a few months ago. Has like 1.4 million or maybe 1.5 million at this point. 1.5 million subscribers, which is absurd. Definitely think this project definitely it's barely scratched the surface for the level of attention it could get at least. I don't know Ant Venom personally. I do know who Ant Venom is though. I know people are gonna shout out to I know people are gonna shout out to Ant Venom about this project. He'll enjoy this project. I'm like almost guaranteeing he would enjoy this project. He always loves breaking limits. He always loves seeing other people break limits or as seen as limits and insanity. He always loves insanity. And let's be honest here, there are very few things in this community that define as insanity than mining for 3,000 hours or whatever. Doing the same thing over and over again for 3,000 hours in one project. especially something that doesn't really have any like um, almost guaranteed external like feedback or recognition from the community, because there wasn't a guarantee at all from this community. I just got pretty lucky. I'm not gonna lie. Towards like the 2 year mark, like it definitely wasn't inevitable for me to get attention from this project, but I just didn't expect that much attention. Like I expected a little bit. I just didn't expect like that much that quickly. It's just absurd to think about. What's up, username? I do really. That's pretty cool. And at least Ant Venom will shed some light on like this project, 'cause I know he's always about his research, and he does pretty good research for the most part. So the gaps are just for sponges. It's so I can place sponges like right here without the blocks filling back up to source blocks. Because can you imagine? Okay, can you just picture the fact that if I had to fill all of this with sand, imagine how long that would take. It would take 80 hours, I think, to fill up. Imagine spending 80 hours just placing sand. Which, to be fair, I think I've already spent that much time, let's be honest, in the entire project doing that. But doing that in one section would be insane. It'd be absolutely absurd. Yes, it would, because it's like you're placing all the blocks that you're trying to do, and then you have to mine them all back up. So it would take 80 hours just to place all of it, and it'd probably take another 80 hours or something like that to mine all of it, or maybe like 60. So it would probably take 250 hours for this one section, which is way higher than the average, which is like 180 hours per section, roughly speaking. 180 hours is like the average. 160 is like the lowest, and 200 is like the most, so I average it out, which if you want to multiply it by 17, and you get roughly the amount of time this project takes. Give or take, like, accounting for other things as well, and like, maybe sections may take, the average may or may not be higher or lower, which I think it might be a little lower, but I don't really know, honestly. Because each section is roughly 6.25% of the entire world, and I split it up into 16th, and not accounting for like the last 4 quarters or something like that, the like 4 pieces of the world that aren't part of the 800. Like it's kind of funny thinking about it actually. Like it's like there's one point in putting a ton of hours into like building stuff because it's like at least somewhat not as, monotonous, but spending I mean, at least, like, for example, if you're going to, like, walking to the far lands and whatever, at least there's, like, different terrain and stuff like this. And you have to deal with, like, mobs and beds, so at least there's somewhat of a risk. This project is, much more monotonous. If I want to tell you, if I had to tell you one, probably the most difficult thing, arguably the most difficult thing in this project, it's literally trying not to sleep, let me tell you. That's how monotonous it is. I think I'm better off reading a book and keeping myself way more awake than this project. Let me just tell you that much. I'm not kidding either. I actually think the hardest part of this project is literally not. I'm not gonna. Probably the nether is gonna be a bit different, but at least for the overworld, the hardest part of this project is not going to sleep, or not passing out or falling asleep in any way. Because when you're tired doing this project, good luck waking up. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not the easiest thing. Yeah, I'm not drinking caffeine for this project. That'd be absolutely absurd. I mean, most of the time it's not bad though. There's just been a couple times it feels impossible. Okay, so for the nether, pretty much all I have is I'm going to be getting rid of the lava. That's the first thing I'm doing in the entire world is getting rid of those lava lakes. That's the absolute first thing. Not dealing with that any other time, let's be honest. And then the second part is dividing the world into quarters. So basically there's two parts. There's the lava section and there's the mining section. With the lava section, don't know how long that's going to take, but the mining section should take around 300 something hours. Up to maybe 400 hours, depending on how much of a pain some of this is to mine, let's be honest. Yeah, I'm going to start from the top down, pretty much. Forgot to mention that. I'm not going from bottom up, or bottom down. I mean, yeah, bottom up. Top down, not bottom up. Yeah, the nether is, I think it's 285 by 285. It's not 288 by 288 because the bedrock walls, kind of similar to the overworld where it's not technically negative. The floor isn't technically 0. It's technically 4, but because I constitute the floor as bedrock, which is why I kept it flat. It also keeps the integrity of the project, which is literally. I wish I remembered Sword King's intro to its Operation Bedrock series. I think I remembered it at one point, but I don't remember it anymore. But it's basically mine everything to bedrock, keep the floor flat so you can walk on it, pretty much. End with pickaxes, because honestly, why not keep the project going with pickaxes, let's be honest. Okay, that's gonna be the hard part, is calculating everything in the nether. That's gonna be the difficult part of the nether, is just the fact that I have to deal with calculations in a different way. I'll have to figure out how that one works, though. If it's too difficult to calculate, then I'll just mine all of it at once. I'll just do like 2 update videos, one for lava and one for blocks or something like that. Because I want to make 5 update videos, actually technically 6. 1 for intro, 1 for lava, and 4 for the blocks, but I don't know if that's gonna happen, to be honest. There's also some additional live streams I'm gonna do on the overworld. The additional live streams include a Patreon stream, which basically places every sign that somebody puts. So like for example, if somebody puts a coal Patreon or becomes a coal patron, they get to have their sign on the edge of the world. So I have signs across the entire world. And then after that, I'm gonna be doing like the beacons, lighting the beacons. for Patreon for the other memberships. And then that'll be the end. That'll pretty much be the end of that stream. Besides the legacy patrons, whoever decides to do those, whoever wants those words or whoever wants their name and pixel art, I'll be doing that as well. And then after that, I'll be doing a stream where I mine all the ore at the bottom of the world. Also, I'm just going to mention during the finale stream, I'm going to be building a 100% logo on the edge like I did with the 50%. And I'm also building that diamond throne I was going to mention. Wait, no. I'll do that after. No, I'll just calculate. Maybe I'll just calculate after I mine all the ores. Something like that. But I'm going to be building a diamond throne for the completion. What's up, Demon Ritos? I'm going to be doing a diamond throne for my... I may do it for my armor. I'm not too sure what I'll do for that though. But or something like that. Maybe just a diamond throne in general. And then I'll do a gold throne for, like a smaller gold throne for Sword King. I know he likes yeah. I think that's it for streams. Well, besides mining all the ore and stuff like that afterwards. It's gonna take quite a few more streams. Could do a charity stream. But I'm not gonna do it for the final. If I do a charity stream, I'm not doing it for the final stream. That wouldn't make much sense because I want to. I might as well just take what I've earned, honestly, from the people. I think it makes more sense though. Why would they? The thing about charity streams is that, like, at least for a project like this, because it's like if people were explicitly trying to support me, why would they? If I do it for a charity, then it's not really supporting me, supporting the charity. Which, if you're doing it for the final stream, and they're supporting me for doing the project, that kind of just completely undermines their contributions to myself. If you know what I mean. Like, I know it sounds kind of odd, but I know people want to go this insane selfless route when it comes to, you know, charity and stuff like that. People go insane about that, I swear. Like, charity is nice. It's just there's some times where it's like making that sacrifice isn't really worth it though. especially for doing a project for 4 years. It's like, I'm not gonna spend 4 years and then be like, oh, well, I'm gonna deflect all of that support that I've gotten, all that monetary support that people have given me to charity. It'd be different if I had, like, or not had, but it'd be different if it was something else, but they could, but I think most people are gonna donate. I mean, look at Kilo's stream. He got like $1 every second of him streaming, pretty much. And if he did, and Patreon got way less, let me tell you. So it's like, it doesn't really, it just doesn't make much sense though, because it's like, if they're trying to support me, they're actually technically supporting a charity instead. So it's like, that doesn't really make much sense. If they're trying to support me for doing the project, I'm technically failing them, if you think about it. Or I'm deflecting their, it's like, okay, think about this. This is almost similar to like, can you imagine deflecting or like just not accepting a present from somebody? That's pretty much what I would be doing. In a way. Like imagine at like Christmas or any holiday, birthday, whatever. Can you imagine just, it's like, nope, I'm just gonna give this present to someone else. It's like, I'm not gonna accept it, I'm just gonna give it to someone else. That's pretty much like the problem I have. I'm not saying, okay, charity in itself is fine. It's just like, in this scenario, it's a bit different. It'd be different if it was just casual, but considering I've been doing this project for 4 years and people literally came here to support. Like, if I made my channel a lot more explicit to being charity, like Kurt Jamak is a perfect example of that actually. He explicitly made his Farlands journey as charity. Or the hardcore dude, the Andre or RWMC or whatever, he also takes all of his revenue. He explicitly made his revenue for charity as well. People put too much pride into that, I'm not gonna lie. Seriously, they really do. It's kind of sad seeing it actually. It's like, being useful to other people is fine, but don't sacrifice everything that you get from something to another thing. Unless you already have a ton of extra, whatever. Yep, that can definitely, people pleasing is literally just pride in helping people. That's all people pleasing is. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a point of, like, helping somebody for the sake of helping somebody, but to the point of, like, sacrificing yourself, that's where it gets bad. Now, there is a point of, like, actually sacrificing yourself, but it has to be, meaningful to the other person. Like how they always say, like, taking a bullet for your lover or whatever, like that type of thing. That's something entirely. There's no point of, like, just trying to help someone, but taking that pride into helping someone. That's when it gets unhealthy. This is why I mentioned about having self-respect. Like, you have to balance helping other people and helping yourself in a way. That's why you have to balance your respect of others and respect of yourself as well. Like, you can help as many people as you want as long as you're like actually respecting and helping yourself as well. I mean, like for example, I could do this I could do this project as much as I want as long as I'm, you know, not neglecting many things. At least I'm not like, or if I'm not neglecting opportunities or neglecting myself in certain ways, at least progressing in some other way. Or if I am going to improve myself in other ways after the fact. Which people don't understand that. People go into the extremes of both. One goes like overly selfish. You get insanely entitled, and then and then people get insanely entitled in that way. Or you have the insanely selfless, which ironically, if you're that selfless, you're actually selfish. It sounds so weird, but like, if you take pride in being selfless, you're actually selfish. Because you're taking away other people's opportunity to help you or helping other people. It's actually kind of sad thinking about it. Oh, I was trying to figure out what you mean. I'm mining all of it at once, if that's what if you're trying to say. It's not all of the section. There's still, I think there's two. Well, there's technically another section after this, and then there's a smaller section. Then I'm done with this project, or done with the overworld, which kind of makes me nervous thinking about it. Like the more and more, the closer and closer I get to this project, the more and more nervous I get with it. I think the hardest part about getting somebody to stop being selfless is the fact that it's like, why would you criticize somebody who's so selfless? It's like, because they're not actually selfless. That's the biggest problem. It's like they hold on to this like status of being selfless, their own like little status, but they can't accept the fact that they're selfish in some ways. Maybe they should accept that they're selfish in some ways. Actually, they should be selfish in some ways, so they can actually, you know, help themselves. There's also a point of, you know, being expecting other people to be, also being selfless and expecting other people to be selfless. The 100 day? I don't know what that is actually. Oh, you're talking about the 100 day, like, hardcore, the hardcore, honestly, those guys are kind of crazy sometimes, I swear. How many hours they put into hardcore is absolutely absurd. Like, I know it's easier to put in more time than this because, you know, that at least that you can like use your you can use as much creativity as you want to. But still, they still put so many hours into it, it's actually absurd. It's around... It's less than 2,000 hours, I know for sure, because I know 7,000 days is 2,000 hours. Oh, if you really want to see some guy, look up Andre. Andre, or RWMC. And the reason he picked that acronym is because he didn't know what else to say, so. But yeah, look up that dude. That guy spends like 60 hours a week. He even has a 2,000 hour time lapse. Over his world. And then he made another world. So can you imagine spending 2,000 hours in a world and then just making another world? It's like, oh, well. He spent 7,000 days in this world, and it's like, oh, well, time to make another one. And in this world, though, he's actually expanding his plan out to 2025. He's doing like a project per year or something like that, which I don't know how that's sustainable. He's like 17. Good luck sustaining that, dude. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck sustaining that level of effort or that level of desire to do that because you're in that stage like where I started doing this project. If I'd have started this like 2 years ago, I probably would have been okay, but starting this project at 17, not the best thing because there's a lot of things I had to deal with in the past 4 years, let me tell you. I mean, to be fair, Phil literally makes a living off of playing hardcore Minecraft. This guy does not, though, which makes it even more insane, honestly. It's like, dude, good luck sustaining 60 hours per week. That's all I'm gonna say to that, dude. Gonna have to make some sacrifices somewhere, eventually. I think at best, I could pull... Let's see. Okay, absolute best, I can, Sup Wish, just place some sand. At best, I can go 60 hours per week. That's at absolute best. That's if I spent like every hour outside of work just doing this project. And I usually go around 30 hours, 40 hours on a good week, but you know, I think I'm getting a lot more than most people actually put into their game. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. It's kind of, and I actually kind of feel, I wouldn't say feel bad, but it feels kind of sad thinking that like I spent 4 years casually mining this entire world. I get on a gaming article, and you have people out there that spend like 40, 50 hours per week every single week for like a whole year or 2 years or something like that, that barely get any form of attention. It's kind of sad. But this is why I honestly think that uniqueness is very important when it comes to um stuff like this, putting a ton of hours into something. But it makes sense though, because it's like if one person's doing hardcore world, like if there's multiple people doing a hardcore world, there's a chance, the chances of you getting that market share from that hardcore audience is what's up, gold miner? Chances of you getting that market share is very um very slim, and you have to split it with other people anyway, so. But I only have to share it with Sword King, technically, because my niche is so small that I can work in. But, I really don't have to share with anybody at this point, to be honest with you. I mean, Sword King does kind of have his project, but kind of just fading away, honestly. But, which I don't blame him for fading away into this project, outside of this project. I remember when he thought he was going to finish it in, like, a year or two. It's like, hi, yeah, you're funny. When he didn't have beacons, he didn't even use diamond pickaxes at that point. It's like, yeah, no. The world is much bigger than that. Which, I mean, he didn't really know. It's like, you can't really figure out how many blocks there actually is, or how long, or how many, yeah. It's kind of funny thinking about it, too, because it's like, who would have known, or he wouldn't have, like, how would he would have known that, yeah, how would he know that this project would be one of the biggest projects in Minecraft to be complete? I mean, yes, you could technically make projects that go forever, but I mean, like, in terms of reasonability, this is definitely one of them. Alright, see you, just a friend. At least being reasonable about projects. Probably don't even need all this sand, to be honest. Like, I don't think I need to fill everything up, but I don't know. Maybe. I always tend to underestimate how much sand I actually use. I don't want to know how much I've already used. I think people need to realize how casual I actually do this project. Oh god, my voice. It's, that wasn't even like a voice crack or anything like that. That was just, I think actually it may have been a voice crack, I don't know. I think I was just, something else. Well, that's what happens when you put, like, no effort into when you speak. It, which I do actually pretty often, so may not have been a voice crack. It may just been a, like a just a random noise that I don't know honestly, but I think people need to just understand that how casual I actually do this project. It really isn't as serious as people think, or at least the progress that I make isn't as serious as people really um, might think it is. I mean, yeah, sure, don't be wrong, I do grind this project out time to time, but it's actually pretty rare for me to grind like 40 hours a week. It's pretty rare. Wow, that couldn't have been any better. I missed two. Alright. Well, I don't know why I didn't check the other two, but whatever. I guess. Okay, I had no clue it made that noise whenever you clicked on it. Well, I'm really just not here right now, apparently, when it comes to doing this. Should really fill that up. That pit. Oh yeah, no, this isn't gonna take that long at all. I may actually finish pretty soon. Like within the next hour, if not less. Which I don't mind, honestly, so I may get a little bit of sponging done. Maybe. Actually, I may just carve the edge of the world or something like that. That's what I mean, that is outline the world, outline the section, I mean. Yeah, username, are you still here? I don't know if you're here or not. Should have asked this earlier, but definitely want to know when that email was sent. I was kind of curious. I think it's really interesting that Fig knows me. As soon as we walk to the corner lines and World Border actually knows about me, which I didn't know that. Not gonna lie. Somebody said they were going to message Aunt Venom at some point, but I don't remember when they said they were going to. I think like last section or 90%, which will be in not this section, but wait, 85. I think this is 90% actually. I think after this section I have less than 10% left, which is pretty cool. I think I'll have like 9%, 8, 9, maybe even 7%. I think 8% left of the world, which is pretty cool. Talk about the progress going slow, my god. Or the percentage going down slowly. What's up, Jason? Oh yeah, did you hear my answer on like your question that I completely for some reason missed? About how long this world has been up, which was 4 years. Like a little over, no. The world is 5 years. A little over 5 years. Because I actually had this was actually just a normal, just a average survival world, I guess is a good way of saying it. Average survival world. Okay. Wasn't too sure, because I know for some reason I missed that comment. All I saw was air, and I didn't even see the comment above it for some reason. It's kind of funny. It's like, well, that's the only comment I saw during that was air. Okay, that was just weird. Didn't know you could place blocks and then go through them for some reason. It's completely unnecessary, but oh well. Make the amount of sand that I have in my inventory. There we go, I think that's all the sand. That didn't take that long at all, actually. I mean, I know I grinded out I know I grinded it out in the last 3 days, but still. Oh jeez. Alright. What's up, Raffy? Just finished, I don't know if you were watching before this, but I just finished with the water. Or the sand, placing the sand for the water. Okay, good, I actually did this correctly. Kinda worried, actually. Now I think I'm just gonna outline the section for now. See how long that takes. Not too long. Good lord. Didn't realize how much that actually was. Wow, alright. Guess it's time to go kill the Ender Dragon randomly. Went through that quickly. All 20 hours of placing Panda or whatever. Whatever it was. Something like that. It's crazy, I'm not even in the view of the portal. Oh, there it is. That's crazy. I remember when I first discovered the portal, like first uncovered the portal, I guess is a better way of saying it. That was crazy. Now I'm past the portal on the opposite side of the world. That's absurd to think about. That was kind of sick. I didn't think that would actually work, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think I would perfectly land. In the portal like that. Oh yeah, just like, it's like, nope, I'm out. What's up, Shulsky? Almost forgot how to say your name for a minute. Almost said Shulk Z instead of Shulsky. So saying it back, almost said it backwards. I almost said it backwards. Thank God I stopped myself from saying it backwards, but... What's up, Bata Chili? Oh yeah, plenty of shovels, my god. Plenty of, full shovels, I guess better, like, fully repaired. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it does look like it if you just, like, glance at your name for, like, half a second. Probably stream for like another hour, I'll be good. It's like, I don't really, like, I already finished the sand, so it's not like, I really have much else to do, let's be honest, so. I can't even see the other wall anymore, that's scary. Can't even see the other... Actually, you know what, I'm finally to the point where you can actually, you know how long this took to get it? Finally, to this point, I can actually... I can finally get to the point where... I can, stand in one part of the world and never see a wall. Completely... It's completely dark, finally. It took this long. Do mind you, this is a 22 chunk render distance as well, so it took forever to get to that point. I have a 22 chunk render radius. I'm finally to that point where I can do that. It's a terrifying sight in some ways. It's kind of confusing, actually. I remember when I first started mining the world, when I got to the point where I couldn't see a wall, it actually got kind of confusing in certain areas. Because I didn't know exactly where I was without the map. Let me make 2 strips, one for the edge and one for the just so it makes it less confusing. You know, I should have known that gravel and sand was gonna fall soon after I saw the sandstone. I can't really see the gravel that well in here, but the sand I should have known I wasn't gonna, you know, fall into or get suffocated by. I'm just gonna put everything in these sugar boxes. I'll organize it later. It's so satisfying, especially when you go from like a slow mining to the faster mining, like when you take a break from it and they come back. It's like that feeling comes back again, over and over again. Especially with sprint mining. Sprint mining is also extremely satisfying. But it's not very sustainable because of, you know, sand and dirt and gravel, unless you could like have godlike reflexes. That's the problem with the fast mining, is that like it's not realistic. It's not very realistic when you account for like reaction times, sprint mining specifically. Like walking, you at least have time to prepare to do it, but sprint mining, nah. I literally outran the blocks. I didn't think I would, actually. That's also another problem, is if like you did sprint mining and you tried keeping the blocks, good luck, because don't know how sustainable that would be. So you have to deal with godlike reflexes, and you have to deal with like going backwards to collect blocks. So sprint mining just isn't that effective. I think taking the slower method of just mining is easier than. I already. Missed all of these. Some of the fun part is the above layers. Good, I'm sorry. At least get those out of the way. Yeah, that's better. Now I can do the top layers. Now it makes a little bit more sense to do the top layers. What's up, VIP princess? high up does this thing go? Okay, good. Oh, this is as high as it goes. Nice. Good to know, honestly. Alright. Guess I'll see you, baby princess? Or, like, whenever you leave, I don't know. Also, thank you as well. I wasn't too sure if you were leaving right then and there, because you said you were gonna stay for long, but I don't really know what that means when people say that, to be honest. Most of the time. Well, when people say leaving shortly, they could mean in like 30 minutes, or they could mean now. That's the thing. So I don't know if to say it goodbye now, or wait. That's the thing. Preemptive goodbyes are kind of, very odd, because it's like... It's almost like interpreted goodbyes instead of like... If you know what I mean. Just my elements. I mean, if somebody says if you're leaving soon, and you sound like you're saying goodbye, it's like a preemptive goodbye. So I don't know if you're leaving now or later, if you know what I mean. When somebody says they're leaving soon, it could be in 5 minutes, it could be now, it could be 30 minutes, or something like that. Like when somebody says, I can't stay for long, pretty much the same thing. I don't know if they're like leaving now, or they're just saying like, just, okay, we aren't staying that long. I don't know. I know I'm probably just overthinking it, but... Because it made it seem like you were leaving now, but I couldn't tell. It was very interpreted. Uh... see a VIP princess. I will be working though in a few hours, so just warning you. I'm literally ending the stream in like an hour, so a little less than an hour. Yeah. go. It's the entire outline. I mean, it didn't take long at all, actually. Well, I think after filtering all these items, I may just end the stream. It's like I really have nothing else to do. I mean, I could start sponging, but it's like I could barely get anything done, so there's no point doing that. What's up, Portal? I'm doing alright. Just filtering items. This is like one of the few times I'll actually do this, honestly, because I don't really need to, filter after this, because, I mean, there's nothing else for me to collect, so. That's not really that boring. For me personally. I know there's just almost every for I'd say majority of people, almost every aspect of this project can be boring, but for me personally it's not that boring. It's pretty satisfying actually. Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, there we go. I think that's... I'll just keep that in the shulker box. No. What's up, Christopher? I've been working on this for a little over 4 years. Also, thank you as well, Portal. Finally almost done. I only have like less than like less than 50% at this point. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've been basically just been placing sand for the last 20 hours, which I finally finished that. And now I'm gonna be sponging. Well, I'm gonna be ending the stream soon, but it but after or at least in the next stream. At least in the next stream I'll be sponging finally. Fortunately, finally be sponging. Sponging's gonna take like 40 to 50 hours, I'm pretty sure, so it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna be mining the nether in the end, and then after that I really just have no idea. I was thinking about doing tours on my world on PS4. which I think the nether and the end combined, because I'll be mining the, with the end, I'm going to be mining my in-city island and my in-city, or I mean, yeah, I would be mining my in-city if I'm, actually that'd be weird if I mined my in-city, like if I mined my in-city island without mining my in-city, that'd be so weird, but I'm going to be mining the main end island, which there's only one main end island, thank God, um, and the in-city island. So I think the nether will take 400 hours minimum, and the end should take like 300 hours, realistically. But the nether is gonna take like 400, maybe 500 hours. So it's almost another 1,000 hours on top of the 3,000. If not more, a little bit more of over 3,000 because of other things I'm doing on this as well, like mining all the ore and stuff like that, which accounts for some of the time. So yeah, wonder why nobody's done this project? There you go. It's because 4,000 hours for a project, roughly. And going at pretty moderate speeds too, but I could build some farms. Except they aren't that effective on here though, on the legacy version. Yep, that tale of somebody mining an entire world, it's actually gonna become a reality. For once. I know many people have wondered about mining an entire world, and here you go. Pretty much. Now it'd be funny if it'd be like, if somebody tried to like one-up me and mine a small world. It's like, oh yes, I'm gonna mine a classic size world, which is 864, 862 by 862. Somebody's be like, oh yes, I'm gonna mine a small world. Real fast. Somebody's just gonna do it in like 2 years or whatever. Like they did with the Farlands, like how Kilo Crazy Man, the person who walked to the Farlands. Like how he walked to the Farlands and then like, um, Fig, or Figonomics, or Figonometry, like walked to the Cornerlands and basically just one-upped him and went to the border, which is pretty funny. I feel like somebody's gonna do something like that with this version when I finish this. Or something like that. There we go. And sponging will... It is kind of funny though. I don't know though. I don't know if somebody will actually go that far because you gotta think that's like 4,500 hours for that project, which I'm not saying people aren't crazy enough to do it, 'cause there are plenty of people who are crazy enough to do, to know that if this is possible, then they'll just one-up me anyway. But maybe. It's gonna take a lot longer though, to be honest with you. That is if people even have the incentive to mine a bigger world than this, let's be honest. I mean, this might be the last time somebody mines an entire world. It's definitely going to be the first, I would think. I'm pretty sure. I don't think anybody has documented evidence of mining an entire world. Even an old world. Whoa, that was crazy. But, don't know if I'll be the last. That's hard to say. Especially with the community this dedicated. I may be the last, but maybe not. It's weird having this many sponges from a glitch. I had 30 sponges, or 17 sponges. I had no, I had 48 sponges, then I lost to 17 sponges. And then I duped to 48, but I didn't actually have to do that because the ocean monument that I mined a long time ago had the 30 sponges. So it didn't even matter. And then I destroyed the 30 sponges, back down to 48, and somehow glitched when I had 2 players when I was making the time lapse. There were 2 sets of sponges in different positions, which gave me the 96, or yeah, 96 sponges, and here you go, 93, because I down 3 sponges or whatever. So yeah, or something like that. It's confusing, but yeah, I'm not gonna be too surprised if somebody went up to me, but I think it's just gonna take a lot longer. I don't know if people will have the incentive to actually outdo this project, or yeah, just outdo the project. But I mean, you never really know. You're welcome, Portal. But yeah, I'm gonna go and end it now, cause there's not really any point for me sponging for like 20 minutes and then ending it. I usually like to break up each stream into like separate things. Unless it's like very small tasks, like the outlining the section, for example, but that was a pretty nice stream. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.